Hello and welcome to the 30k channel, a channel dedicated to games set in the Heralds of Heresy. I am your host, David Brains, and look who I have been joined by. It is a Heralds of Heresy takeover. Morning, gents.
Morning.
Good morning. Morning. Now, for those of you that are unfamiliar with the Heralds of Heresy, they are a bunch of gamers from all over the country. We know Richard Harris really well. He's been on the channel 4 times, Rich.
This will be my 4th time today.
Wow.
Yeah. How many of them have you won?
Oh. He's going to start.
I'm wondering what chance we've got.
Yeah. He's going to start invoicing me for his time very soon. To my right, I've got James. Good morning.
Good morning.
To my left, I have Jamie.
Good morning.
G'day. And finally, we have Matt on the end there. So you can see we're standing because we have got a massive treat for you. We have got a humongous 12k smash fest.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Is that right? That's the plan?
Yeah.
Excellent. So we're so lucky. These guys have put so much effort and coordination to get themselves into one place for 2 days. I think we're going to film half the game today and maybe the remainder of it tomorrow, maybe, or try and get as much done today. Yeah. Gents, tell us a little bit about the Heralds, please, before we go any further, and tell us a little bit about your podcast. Who wants to start?
Well, James should start because it's James's podcast.
It's James' podcast.
So we're the Heralds of Heresy. We do a monthly podcast on...
Ish.
It's full weekly. It's mainly about heresy, but we do talk about other stuff as well. But we're just 4 guys that love heresy, and we just want to chat about it. And that's pretty much what the podcast is about.
Yeah.
So if you want to get in contact, send us some stuff.
Great. Now, you're all from different parts of the country, though, aren't you? Richard, you're Northampton?
I'm Northampton.
James?
Jamie's the same.
I'm from Northampton as well.
Yeah.
You're Milton Keynes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and I'm Kent.
Great stuff.
I'm the odd one out.
So
we're an Essex boy.
Us three.
I'm not an Essex boy.
So how did it all come together? How did you all meet? Because obviously you're quite far apart, aren't you?
Yeah, so we met at Greetings from the Warp event.
Great.
Was it last year?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
and we all... Obviously, I knew Rich previously from games. I think we had a game before, James, before the last event when we all met. Mm-hmm. And then James and Matt knew each other from West
We've
Coast
known
Gaming.
each other for a couple of years now.
Yeah,
so.
Right.
And then just sort of like we all just met, and I think we all like
we done
over a quiz, didn't we?
Yeah. Team reach around.
Yeah.
It's a family show.
To be fair, we did win that. We did win that.
Oh,
quiz.
good.
We smashed the quiz.
Yeah, champions.
And
and then it's been love ever since.
Great stuff.
I think the chemistry was just there straight away when we just became friends. So
Yeah, the Greetings boys, Matt and Andy, isn't it? They put on some great events, don't they? They do 40k and 30k and lots of other stuff. So I've been to a couple myself a couple of years ago, but I'd love to say I've been playing recently, but I've been playing no games the last 2 years. My time has been taken up with this, but good. So you've met the Heralds. You've hopefully listened to them. If you haven't, I will put a link to all their details in the description below when this game drops out. My pleasure.
Thank you.
Now, gents, tell me a little bit about the game we've got today and your army. So, Rich, can we start with you first? What you got?
Well, I'm bringing the usual, the Imperial fists.
Excellent.
This could be the last hurrah for a while because I've got other armies on the go. Well, we had to do the grudge match. We had to do fists and Iron Warriors.
Yeah.
And then, James, you've got your Iron Hands.
Yeah.
And you've been
everyone knows
them
me
for a
for my
while.
Iron Hands, so
It's your staple, isn't it?
it's my staple. Yeah.
Absolutely. So we've got the Imperial Fists and the Iron Hands holed up in a city. They've kind of just met, having a bit of a conflab, maybe sharing a bit of resource, perhaps. And then we've got the Dirty Traitors.
Whoa!
Sorry about that.
He's the dirty. My armor's quite nice. It's filthy. So I'm bringing the Iron Warriors. Matt,
Death Guard.
So we basically try to work together at building our list. So we are the hammer and the anvil.
Very much so,
yeah. So that's
I've got the hammer.
He's got the hammer. I'm glad you mentioned that.
Right.
So with Primarchs on the board, we've got Perturabo and we've got Ferrus Manus. And with his head, the Death Guard have got a really unique force. They've got loads of jump infantry, and they've got jet bikes and the speeders. You've got javelin in there.
Yep.
That's it. Yep. So they've scouted out this planet. They've realised that Ferrus Manus is there with his lovely big shiny hammer.
Yep.
And he's reported back to Perturabo, and he said, "I quite fancy that."
I want it.
So
the hammer.
Obviously, the hammer is passed to Perturabo from Horus.
Yeah.
Later on in the timeline, but this is perhaps a preemptive strike of Perturabo just trying to get his hands on some technology.
Yeah. That's where he first got the twinkle in his eye.
He wants it bad.
Shiny.
And Jamie,
that hammer.
you've purposely not taken the hammer.
Yeah. I purposely not taken it because it didn't feel right to bring him with the hammer and then James to have Ferrus. Because it just didn't make sense.
If we win today, you're going to remodel.
Oh yes, it's ready, waiting, wrapped up. I might convert it. Might put an iron hand.
Have I got to cut mine off?
Smashed it in.
That's it.
The hammer, right?
We'll have we'll have a ceremony of handing that hammer over. So we have thought a little bit about this game. It's not just thrown together. So we've done a bit of research, and all credit to these guys. They're the ones that have led that. So thanks very much for doing that. The board we've got for you today is kind of a half and half.
It's amazing.
Is it all right? Happy?
Yeah, I love it.
Excellent. It wouldn't be a channel board if I didn't use any stones. There's loads of stone. Stones can be purchased. They're £100 each because they are very, very famous stones, and some sand. They give you like a vial of sand each to take away. Maybe.
Lovely. Maybe that'd be great. Wearing a necklace.
Yeah. Why not? Yeah. Take it with you. So we've got a bit of a dual board. We've kind of got the city with some defense lines, and we've got a kind of like industrial area that feeds the city, and that's where the Death Guard and the Iron Warriors are setting up.
Yep.
And obviously the Fists and the Iron Hands are just Iron Warriors, and Iron Hands are in the buildings. So we've got War of Lies.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love War of Lies. I know you guys don't like it out there because it's like, gaming's and you can roll the dice. But I think it's a brilliant game.
It comes down to the final roll.
Yeah, you get kill points with it.
Yeah.
Great mission.
And you've also added a little extra mission on the end, haven't you? James, tell us about that.
Jamie.
Oh, Jamie.
Yeah, so we've got
1 out of 2.
basically it's like a Primarch challenge off.
Yeah.
So if the Primarchs, make sure I get this right, the Primarchs obviously are in a challenge, and if one of them kills the other, then it's a bunch of extra victory points.
And you get three extra victory points.
And I think if they are in combat at the end of the game, we're going to try and quickly roll
it will continue even if the game
we've done a couple of test games, and he has beaten me a couple of times because Perturabo without the hammer is not very good.
Yeah.
He slaps.
But we have a plan for that. Then. Plan.
Good stuff. So don't forget there's death toll here, and there's loads of points available. There are tons of units on the board. We've got a lot of firepower. Got some really super fast Death Guard, which is really awesome to see. A really different, unique list. So they are fantastic. All 4 armies, wow, I can't believe I'm saying 4, are so well painted. They're absolutely lovely. It's going to be it's good. It's going to be a feast for your eyes. I'm going to make sure I take loads and loads of photos. Now, from what I understand, the Iron Warriors and the Death Guard are going first. Is that right?
Yeah.
They won the roll-off.
We won the roll-off.
Decided that we should go first.
Yeah. There was a 6 rolled, I think, wasn't there?
There was a 6 roll.
To be honest, it was a 6 and a 1.
Well, it's me.
And then we let them go first anyway.
And the fact that we rolled an Imperial Fist dice and they rolled an Iron Warriors dice as well.
Might be a telling factor before the game starts. Who knows?
We're a point up already.
Yeah.
Well, I'm really looking forward to this game. What we're going to do now is we're going to go into these guys' lists, work out exactly what they've taken so you can see their army and work out what they've got. And then we'll start at the beginning of turn 1. Now, before we go any further, let's just have a quick handshake. We've got to do things slightly differently in this game. I'll shake you again. It gets a bit tense in the booth, so hopefully we'll still be friends at the end of the day.
If not, we might have 2 spaces for the podcast.
I'll have 2 spaces on my podcast.
You heard it here. This could be the end of the Heralds.
We're going to do this one slightly quick format. We're probably going to film some really key dice rolls, but perhaps the majority will use these guys and their beautiful voices to accurately describe what has happened for each turn. So it will be relatively quick, but if not, we're just going to be here for 2 weeks, I think. So, so good luck, gents.
Thank you very much.
I'm really looking forward to this.
Yeah, good luck, guys.
And we'll see you at the beginning of turn 1.
Beardy bro.
Beardy bro. 3,000 points of Iron Hands led by Ferrus Manus, running head of the Gorgon Rite of War. This allows Land Raiders as dedicated transports. The army also benefits from chosen ground
infantry units within the force gain the stubborn special rule when they are within their own deployment. The Rite of War also allows all tanks and walkers in the army to take the Blessed Auto Simulacra special rule. The final point of Head of the Gorgon is Armoured Encirclement. This allows any tank in the army to outflank. The HQ for the Iron Hands today is Spearhead Centurion Casterman Orth. He is equipped with Power Armour, Refractor Field, Frag and Crack Grenades, Bolt Pistol, Power Maul and a Cyber Familiar. Today he is commanding a Sakaran Venator that is equipped with las cannons, a pintle mounted heavy bolter, a neutron laser. It also has Dozer Blade. When the model is destroyed, Orth then takes part on the battle on foot, but he is treated otherwise like a transported model. Elite is a 5-man Cataphracti Terminator squad, all equipped with chain fists. The Sergeant has a Cyber Familiar. They are also riding in a Spartan, which has Armoured Ceramite and a Flare Shield. The Spartan is also equipped with a Dozer Blade. First of the troops' choice is a 10-man tactical squad riding in a Rhino that has a Dozer Blade. The Sergeant is equipped with Power Fist, Melter Bomb and a Cyber Familiar. The second troops' choice is a 10-man tactical squad in a Rhino identical to the first. The third troops' choice is a 5-man tactical support squad with plasma guns. The Sergeant is equipped with Artificer Armour, Melter Bomb and a Cyber Familiar, and they are riding in a Land Raider Phobos with a Dozer Blade and Armoured Ceramite. The first heavy support choice is a squadron of Plasma Executioners armed with las cannons, Power of the Machine Spirit and a Dozer Blade. The second heavy support choice is a Leviathan Siege Dreadnought with a Storm Cannon, Siege Claw and 2 twin-linked Volkites. Leading the Iron Hands today is Ferrus Manus wielding Forgebreaker. He will be riding along with the Terminators in the Spartan.
3,000 points of Imperial Fists, no Rite of War, led by a Herald with the Warlord trait World Burner, which has been applied to the Scorpius. HQs for the Imperial Fists. The Warlord today is a Herald. He is equipped with Artificer Armour, a Bolt Pistol, Power Sword, Refractor Field and a Melter Bomb. The second HQ is a Legion Praetor. He is in Tartarus Pattern Terminator Armour, has digital lasers, a Storm Shield and a Paragon Blade. The third and final HQ choice is a Chaplain. He is equipped with Artificer Armour, Bolt Pistol, Refractor Field, Power Axe and Power Sword. The first elite choice is a Tartarus Pattern Terminator Squad. They are equipped with Storm Shields and Power Fists. Their dedicated transport is a Spartan Assault Tank with Armoured Ceramite, Flare Shield and Dozer Blade. Second elite choice is a 10-man Templar Brethren Squad. They are equipped with Melter Bombs. The Chapter Champion has a Combat Shield and a Power Fist. Third elite choice is an Apothecarian Detachment. 2 Apothecaries have Jump Packs and Power Swords, and 1 has Artificer Armour and a Power Sword. The troop choices are 2 identical 10-man Assault Squads. They're equipped with 2 extra Power Axes, and the Sergeant has Artificer Armour and a Power Fist. Fast Attack is the Storm Eagle Assault Gunship. This is equipped with twin-linked las cannons, twin-linked heavy bolter and a Vengeance Launcher. First heavy support choice is a 5-man las cannon squad. The Sergeant is equipped with Artificer Armour and an Augury Scanner. Second heavy support choice is a Leviathan Siege Dreadnought. He's equipped with Armoured Ceramite, a Storm Cannon, 2 Heavy Flamers and a Siege Drill. The third and final heavy support choice is the Whirlwind Scorpius, ready to rain death upon the Death Guard and Iron Warriors.
3,000 points of Iron Warriors led by Primarch Perturabo, running the Ironfire Rite of War. Ironfire Rite of War gives them rolling bombardment, which, if a target point from a barrage weapon within 12 inches of an Iron Warriors unit, only deviates 1d6 on the scatter. When the barrage has been resolved, it leaves a token. The subsequent barrage shots that are 18 inches from the counters and 6 inches of a friendly Iron Warriors unit do not scatter at all. The next point on the Ironfire Rite of War is Ride the Ironfire. Iron Warrior units within 6 inches of an Ironfire counter are fearless. HQ for the Iron Warriors is a Siegebreaker. He's armed with Cataphracti Pattern Terminator armour, carrying a Thunder Hammer, 1 Phosphex Bomb and a Combi Bolter. First elite choice is the Iron Circle. They'll be joining Perturabo on the field today. Second elite choice is the Contemptor Mortis Dreadnought, armed with 2 twin-linked Velaz cannons. Third elite choice for the Iron Warriors is 2 quad launchers, both armed with shatter shells. Final elite choice for the Iron Warriors is a 5-man Cataphractii Terminator unit, all armed with combi melters. There is 3 chain fists and 2 power fists in the unit. Troop choices for the Iron Warriors today are 3 tactical squads, all in rhinos armed with multi-melters. The sergeants differ. One sergeant has got a power axe, one has got a power fist, and the other has a power sword, all armed with melter bombs. First heavy support choice for the Iron Warriors is a squadron of Medusas, both armed with shrapnel rounds for the heavy bolters. Next heavy support choice for the Iron Warriors is a Legion Scorpius Whirlwind tank. Final heavy support choice for the Iron Warriors is a Leviathan Siege Dreadnought armed with a Melter Lance, Siege Drill, 2 heavy flamers and a Phosphex Discharger. You'll be riding into battle today and Legion Dreadnought drop pod. And finally, the Lord of War for the Iron Warriors is the Primarch Perturabo. He's also the Warlord. He's armed with the Logos, which gives him wrist-mounted cannons. He isn't taking the hammer today because he's on the field to take it from Ferrus.
2,984 points of Death Guard, running the Angel's Wrath Rite of War, led by a Praetor with the Bloody-Handed Warlord trait. HQs for the Death Guard. The Warlord today is a Praetor. He has the Bloody-Handed Warlord trait. He is equipped with a Jump Pack, Artificer Armour, Iron Halo, a Mastercrafted Paragon Blade, a Thunder Hammer, Digital Lasers, and Melter Bombs. He's being joined by a Moritat with a Jump Pack, Artificer Armour, Refractor Field, Melter Bombs, Plasma Pistol, and Volkite Serpenta. And finally a Chaplain with a Jump Pack, Artificer Armour, a Boarding Shield, Melter Bombs, Bolt Pistol, and a Power Axe. First Elite's choice is an Apothecarian detachment, consisting of 2 Apothecaries, each with Jump Packs. The second Elite's choice is a 10-man Destroyer squad, all equipped with Jump Packs and Melter Bombs. There are 7 Destroyers with twin Bolt Pistols, 2 Destroyers with missile launchers with Rad missiles, and the Sergeant is equipped with Artificer Armour, a Power Fist, and 2 Phosphex Bombs. The unit of Destroyers is using the beta rules from the most recent FAQ for the Horus Heresy, so they now have hardened armour and the points have been reduced. First of the troop choices is a 15-man Assault Squad. There are 2 Power Axes and 1 Power Sword. They're all equipped with Melter Bombs, and the Sergeant is equipped with Artificer Armour, a Power Scythe, and a Combat Shield. The second and third troop choices are 10-man Assault Squads, all equipped with Melter Bombs. Each squad has 1 Power Axe, and the Sergeant is equipped with Artificer Armour, Power Scythe, and Combat Shield. First fast attack choice is a Javelin Landspeeder Squadron, consisting of 3 Javelins. Each is equipped with a Multi-Melter, a Twin-Link Cyclone Missile Launcher, and 2 Hunter-Killer Missiles. Second and third fast attack choices are 2 Jetbike Skyslayer Squadrons, each consisting of 6 jet bikes. There are 4 Heavy Bolters and 2 Volkite Culverins in each squad. They're all equipped with Melter Bombs, and they each have an upgraded Sergeant equipped with a Power Scythe. The first and only heavy support choice is a Fire Raptor gunship equipped with Hellstrike missiles and 2 Reaper autocannon batteries.
Traitors turn 1 movement phase. The forces have moved forwards to meet up with the Loyalists. Perturabo and his Iron Circle have charged up forwards. Everything else has moved forwards. Assault Marines from the Death Guards have jumped up using the jump packs to get cover ground. Rhinos from the Iron Warriors have sped up forward to try and start to claim objectives, and everything else has just moved forwards. The Iron Warriors Medusas have moved up to try and close the short range that their guns have got, but otherwise it is hopefully going to be a good shooting phase for us. And finally, the Iron Warriors Leviathan has landed, hit home close to the lines to make the choice of either trying to destroy the Leviathan or Orth in his Venator.
Straight to turn 1 shooting phase. The first things that's happened is the Death Guard on the far left-hand side. The jet bike squad has turbo boosted forwards into the cover of the building. The assault squad on the flank has run forward 3 inches. In the centre, they've run forward 5, and the final smaller assault squad has moved forward 3 inches in the shooting phase as well.
So first shot of the game is going to be the drop-podded Leviathan. It is going to be shooting at the Iron Hands Leviathan. So first off, we've got 3 Melter Lance shots. They hit on... Oh no, great. So we've got 2 misses and one hit. So strength 9 on the front armour, 13, but I'm in Melter range. And you haven't got Armour Ceramite, have you? So that is a pen. So then just one...
4-up invulnerable save. Which
she's pass. Okay, so then the last thing is the Melter Gun. Again, hits on 2s, which hits, and then strength 9, Melter range again. And we've got another pen. So please...
4-up invulnerable save?
No.
I fail.
So, okay, so this is the penetrate. We've got a 4, which converts to...
6.
So it goes to 6, isn't it? So it's mobilised. Ooh, okay, I'll take that. And 1 whole point down.
Next to shoot is the Death Guard Jetbike Squadron on the right-hand flank. There are 2 heavy bolters which are in range of the Imperial Fist Heavy Support Squad. They are just firing now with 6 shots. Hitting on 3s, that's not bad at all. 5 hits. We then have, oh, beg your pardon, 3s to wound, strength 5 against toughness 4. And we have 3 wounds. So that's 3 saves, please, Rich.
The first 2 models to take the shots are Standard Marines with power armour. So they're taking them on 3 up, so I'm going to do them 2 at a time. So that's 2 saves, and then I've got
one more.
One more. And that's 1 Marine
dice. And then we have 2 Volkite Culverins in the unit, which are also going to shoot. And that is 8 shots in total, hitting on 3s, which again, 1 cocked dice there, which again is a very good spread of hits with 7. These are strength 6, so they are wounding on 2s. And there we have 6 wounds, which again is not too bad.
So once again, I have 1 guy before the Sergeant with the Artificer, so I'm going to do this 1 at a time till he dies. So 3+. He has died. He is now on the Sergeant. So again, I've got to do it 1 at a time because he has a 2-up save.
Yeah.
So that's 1, 2, 3. Oh, cock dice. 4.
Yep, 1 more.
And 5, and he passes them all.
And then 1 died in using Deflagrate from the Volkite. We get 1 more wound, so 1 more save, please.
So 1 more 2-up save, and that's saved.
Lovely. That's not bad. Killed 2. Next up, we have the Javelin Landspeeder Squadron firing all of their missiles at the Imperial Fist's Leviathan. So first things first, there are 6 Cyclone missile launcher shots. These are twin-linked. They're hitting on 2s because of strafing run, so that's 5 hits. Rerolling 1 because of twin-linked. That is 6 hits. And then the 6 Hunter Killer missiles, they're all the same stats, so I'm going to roll them now, but they're not twin-linked, which is why I did them separately. So that's 6 shots with 4 hits, so 10 in total. The front armour is 13. These are strength 8, so we're looking at 5s. 1, 2, 3 glancing hits. So 3 4-up invulnerable saves, please.
The Imperial Fist Leviathan will now make his saves. And he takes 1 whole point.
Yep.
Next up for the Iron Warrior shooting is the Iron Circle. They're going to shoot their Olympian pattern bolt cannons into the las cannon team on the building, hopefully to try and take the last 3 out. So I've got 10 shots here, needing 3s, and not so great. I have got 5 shots there, hit. The next strength 5, so needing 3s to wound, and that is 3 wounds, please, sir. So you got 2 power armor, guys.
The heavy support squad have got 2 power armors before the Artificer of the Sergeant, so I'm going to roll 2 first, needing 3 pluses, and then 1 more, and they're all saved.
Next up to fire was the Iron Warriors Medusas. They shot at the Iron Hand Spartan, hitting the front, and unfortunately rolling double 1s for the ordnance and not glancing at all. Next to fire is the Iron Warriors Scorpius. It's had to move forward, so it's not in range of anything, so it's only getting the 1 shot, and it's using Perturabo's Nuncio Vox, so it doesn't reduce its ballistic skill. It has hit the Spartan with a direct hit in the centre, and now I'm going to try and glance it, needing a 6 to glance. No, got a 4. Next to fire is the Iron Warriors Contemptor Mortis with its las cannons. He's going to target the Iron Imperial Fist Spartan, trying to take a couple of hull points off of it. So 2 dice, needing 2s, twin linked. So I've got a 1 and a 6. So I'm going to reroll that 1. 2 hits, perfect. Right, so front armor is 14, obviously with the flare shield. So I'm going to need 6s. 6s to do anything. So come on. Oh, it's that one. Let me reroll that. Nothing. 4 and a 1. Next firing is the quad mortars. They're shooting their frag shells all the way over to the Imperial Fists assault squad. I've hit directly on the apothecary. He's in the center. So I've got 8 hits and I'm wounded on 3s. Okay, nice. So that is 6 hits, 6 wounds. So Rich, 6 saves, please. Starting on your apothecary.
The Imperial Fist apothecary does not really want to take these. So I'm going to look out Sir him. So I'm going to have to do these one at a time. So 4+. No, so he has to do a save on his 3 up. He's saved. Another 4+, which goes through. So I'm going to take it 3 up again. Saved. Another 4+. 3 up. This is the 4th one. Oh, get over key. 3 up. 5th one. He takes it on himself. And then the last one takes it on himself. Oh, cock dice. And he dies. Oh, and the last one as well. Gutted. Just realised being an apothecary, he gets feel no pain. So 5 up needed. Oh, and he still goes down.
Yes. Okay, second quad mortar of the unit has scattered off 3 inches because they can see through the line of sight. So I've got 4 hits here. So I need in 3s to wound. That is 1 wound. Oh, yay. So Rich, just on a normal tactical marine with a chainsaw.
So 3 up power armor, and he saves it.
Perfect. End of the traitor's turn. We've got a nice little result here with the las cannon team failing in leadership and running away like the yellow bellies they are. Otherwise, everything has moved forwards. Couple of whole points on things. Looking comfortable.
Loyalist turn 1 movement phase. The Spartan has moved up. It passed its dangerous terrain test. The Plasma Executioner Predators moved up as well to get better line of sight on the jet bikes. The Sakaran Venator has also dropped back a little bit to take shots at the Leviathan Dreadnought. Unfortunately, the Iron Hands Leviathan Dreadnought couldn't move because he's been immobilized, but luckily he is facing in the right directions to still take shots.
The Imperial Fist Heavy Support Squad regrouped and have moved up, ready to take some pot shots into Leviathan if needed. The Assault Squad have just spread out a little bit, so not to get hit by too much templates. The Leviathan has moved up to line up shots on the Assault Squad in the middle of the table. The second Assault Squad have just spread out and moved away from one of the counters for the Iron Fire. And the Spartan has stayed put, lining up a las cannon on the Mortis Contemptor and the Medusas. Loyalist turn 1 shooting. The Imperial Fist Spartan has lined up one of its quad las cannons on the Mortis Contemptor and will machine spirit the second one into the squadron of Medusas. So, 2 shots at the Mortis Contemptor, needing 3s to hit, twin linked. So 2 hits. Strength 9 against armor 13, so needing 4s to glance. That is 1 pen, and he has a 5 up save.
Okay, 1 5 up save coming up. He saved it.
Saves it. The second las cannon is firing into the Medusas, so again needing 3s to hit, twin linked. So twin linked, that's 2 hits. And it's armor 11.
Yeah, on the side.
So needing 2s to glance, 3s to penetrate. That is 1 glance and 1 penetrating hit. So if you take the glance first.
Okay, so I'm getting intervening models. So 5 up cover save coming up for the glance, which is saved. Can I roll that dice again, please? And then I need that again for the pen. No, pen goes through.
It's AP2, so I get +1 to this. Ooh, and it's shaken. The Imperial Fist Leviathan is now going to fire its Storm Cannon into the Death Guard Assault Marines. So it's 6 shots hitting on 2s. That's all hits. And then needing 2s to wound. And that's 5 wounds.
Okay,
it's
so
AP3.
Yep. So there's only 3 in range, so the front 3 die.
The Imperial Fist Heavy Support Squad. One of the las cannons can snap shoot at the Leviathan. So we're going to see if I can roll a magic 6. Here we go. Oh, and it's the opposite.
Yes.
The Imperial Fist Scorpius has fired its shell over onto the assault squad of the Death Guard. He's managed to get 6 hits, and I'm rolling to wound on 2 pluses. So that's 4 wounds.
Okay.
AP3.
Fortunately for me, they've landed bang on the centre of my unit, on my sergeant, who has artificer armour. So he's going to start taking some 2+ saves. So the first one is passed, the second one is also passed, third one is passed, and the 4th save is also passed. All fine. No damage.
Iron Hands turn 1 shooting. The Sikaran Venator is going to be shooting its neutron laser at the Iron Warrior's Leviathan Dreadnought. So it's 2 shots, hitting on 2s because of Orth, both hitting. And then it's Ordnance, strength 9, no, sorry, strength 10, AP 1. So the first shot is a pen, and the second shot is also a pen.
So the Leviathan's got a 4-up invulnerable save, so I've got 2 4-ups to make, else pain's going to happen. Oh, one goes through. One goes through.
You go through, so it's AP 1, and that is explodes. So continuing the Iron Hand shooting phase, the Predators, I did declare that the las cannons were going to be shooting at the Leviathan, but I wasn't expecting it to explode. So the las cannons haven't shot, but the Plasma Executioners shot with Power the Machine Spirit at the jet bike, the Death Guard jet bikes. I managed to get 8 hits, so I've got 8 wounds to roll. I also hit the Iron Warrior's Rhino, managed to get a penetrating hit, and I got a weapon destroyed result, and it no longer has its combi bolter. So I've got 8 hits, so 80 dice to roll, wounding on 2s. 2 don't wound. So
Okay.
6 saves, please. 6.
Yep, I did declare to Jink
Matt
because
did.
it's AP2. So this is 6 4+ saves. And I lose 3. So 3 survive, 3 die.
Next up, the Spartan will be shooting 1 las cannon at the Javelins, and it will be shooting its other one using Power the Machine Spirit at the Iron Warrior's Medusas. So first up, we're going to shoot at the Death Guard Javelins. It's 2 shots, twin linked, hitting on 3s. Both hit, and then we're glancing on
2s, it's only armour 11.
So that is a glance.
1 glass, 1 pen. Yep. Which one would you like me to take first?
The glance first, please.
Okay, the Javelins did elect to Jink because there was no cover, so we need a 4-up to save the glancing hit, which we do not do, and a 4-up to save the penetrating hit, which we also do not do. And what does
it do?
Does the penetrating hit do?
It explodes.
Explodes. Okay. It's only a strength 4 explosion, so it can't hurt the 2 remaining Javelins, so 1 destroyed.
Okay, so shooting the second las cannon at the Iron Warrior's Medusa, I rolled 2 hits, front armour
12,
strength 9, looking for 2,
3, 1 pen.
Would you like
Yeah,
to
so
roll for your cover save?
Because of cover and everything, I'm getting a 4-up cover from being in and 25%, so I need a 4-up to save this. I do.
You do. So end of turn 1 for the Loyalists. Orth really done well, managing to take out the Iron Warriors Leviathan, and we're really looking forward for the traitors smashing into our lines and getting into a fist fight.
Traitor turn 2 movement. The Destroyer squad in the centre have moved forwards for a charge into the Spartan or potentially its contents if Jamie manages to destroy it in the shooting phase. The larger assault squad have moved up for a long charge either into the Spartan or the assault squad. Jet bikes have moved forward to do a similar thing. The Iron Warrior's Rhino has moved forwards for a potential objective grab later in the game. The assault squad on our far left flank has moved over to just cover any potential reserves for the Loyalists coming in. The Contemptor Mortis has turned to get more of an arc of fire and has activated his helical targeting array, I believe it's called. Quad Mortis have stayed still. In the centre, the Medusas have moved forward slightly. The Whirlwind Scorpius has stayed still, and Perturabo and the Iron Circle have moved up, again for a potential charge against the Spartan if needs be. Our Fire Raptor came on from reserve and is looking to line up some shots into the Predators on the far side. The Assault Squad has moved forwards. The Jet Bikes have moved forwards, and the Javelin Landspeeders have just moved across slightly, again for some shots into the armour of the Iron Hands on their left flank.
Traitors turn 2, shooting phase. The Medusa squadron has opened up onto the Spartan. Only one of them can fire because the other snap firing. We managed to get a glancing hit on the Spartan. Next up, shooting, is the Contemptor Mortis. He has tried to do a long shot onto the Imperial Fist Spartan. 2 hits in the turn with twin linked. One glance got through because of the flare shield, but then Richard managed to save it through intervening model. Next up was the Iron Warriors Contemptor Mortis, firing its 2 las cannons at the Imperial Fist Spartan. Managed 2 hits, resolved 1 into a glance. Then Richard managed to make a cover save and save the glance. Okay, next up with combined fire from the Scorpius and the Quad Mortar team, they have bombarded the Imperial Fist Assault Marines units, killing all but 3 of them, but then he had to make his leadership test, failed that, and because of their jump packs, they have gone, they have left.
Next up to fire was the Death Guard Fire Raptor. Unfortunately, its main gun can't hurt anything that it can see, but the 2 waist-mounted autocannons fired at the Imperial Fist and Iron Hands, I beg your pardon, Leviathans respectively. 1 glance apiece, but both saved by the invulnerable save. However, 2 hull points were scored on the Iron Hands Predator Squadron with the Hellstrike missiles, resulting in 2 penetrating hits and a shaken result on the first Predator. The Javelins, who were jinking last turn, fired 2 Cyclone missile launchers at the Iron Hands Leviathan. Unfortunately, because they were snap firing, they all missed. Turn 3 Traitor Assault Phase, a number of very long charges across the board. The smaller assault squad attempted to charge the Predator Squadron and failed. The Iron Circle and Perturabo attempted an incredibly long charge against the Iron Hands Spartan, but unfortunately failed. The Destroyers, however, made it in, which is good, to the Iron Hands Spartan. The larger assault squad with my Praetor and the jet bikes both tried to charge the Imperial Fist Spartan, but unfortunately both failed their charges. The Death Guard Destroyers, who charged into the Spartan, managed to plant 8 melter bombs on the side of it, resulting in 4 penetrating hits, 2 glances, and unfortunately 2 failures. I did manage to blow it up, however. The resulting explosion covered all of my destroyers, wounding 2, but I passed my Feel No Pains after failing armour saves. I also wounded one of the Terminators inside the Spartan. James failed his armour save, but then managed to pass his 6+ Feel No Pain save. So no casualties, but the Spartan is gone. Turn 2 for the Traitors, moderately successful. We managed to destroy the Spartan, which is great, so Ferrus is now on the table. Would have liked a few more charges to be successful, but we're now poised ready for turn 3 to fully take advantage of our combat capacity.
Turn 2 movement phase for the Loyalists. The Iron Hands Tactical Support Squad have come on. They're poised, ready to take out the Death Guard Assault Squad.
The Imperial Fist Spartan has emptied its cargo of Terminators, Praetor and the Herald, ready to charge at the Assault Squad.
The Iron Hands Rhinos with the 10-man tactical squads have moved up slightly, and Ferrus Manus and his Terminator bodyguard have also moved up very, very minimal, just to get ready for charging.
The Heavy Support Las Cannon Squad have moved around the building to get some snapshots on the Fire Raptor. The Imperial Fist Leviathan has moved up, ready to put some shots into Perturabo and his bodyguards. The Storm Eagle has come on from reserves and has lined up shots on the Fire Raptor. The Imperial Fist Assault Squad has moved into the building, making their way forward.
And the Iron Hands Predators and Sicaran have just shuffled around, just trying to get better shots on the Death Guard jet bikes and Assault Squad and Javelins. Loyalists turn to shooting phase. The Plasma Support Squad and the Land Raider shot at the Death Guard Assault Squad, killing 8 of them. They failed their leadership test and they're now running back towards the Plasma Squad because they have to run back towards their table edge.
The Imperial Fist Spartan has lined up shots on the jet bikes and the Medusas. 1 las cannon fired into the jet bikes, managing to kill 2 of them, and they passed their leadership test. The other fired into Medusa and managed to get a penetrating hit and shaken. The Imperial Fist las cannon squad opened up on the Medusas. I had to snap shoot because I moved, but managed to get 1-6. And with Tank Hunter, I got a lucky pen and I managed to take that last hull point off to wreck it. The Imperial Fist Leviathan has opened up with its storm cannon on the bodyguards of Perturabo, managing to take 1 wound off. The Imperial Fist Storm Eagle has opened up with its weapons, 1 las cannon firing on the Fire Raptor, hit but couldn't get through the armour. The Vengeance Launcher and the Heavy Bolter unloaded on the Assault Squad in front of it and managed to kill 3 Marines.
The Iron Hands Leviathan shot at the Assault Squad with its Volkites and the Storm Cannon, managed to kill 1 Marine, and that was it. The Iron Hands Sikaran Venator snapshot at the Death Guard Fire Raptor, managing to score 1 hit, managed to get a stun, and now the Fire Raptor is snap firing next turn. Machine spirited their Plasma Executioners at the Death Guard Jet Bike Squad, managing to score 12 hits. They managed to do 9 wounds, which wiped out the squad. Then the 1 Predator that was shaken snapshot at the Javelins, managing no hits. The 2nd Predator shot at the Javelins, got a glancing hit and a penetrating hit, but Matt unfortunately saved on his Jinx save.
The Imperial Fist Scorpius launched a turret bombs down on the Death Guard Assault Squad. Sadly, it scattered a little bit and I only managed to kill 2 of the Assault Marines. Overall, not a bad shooting phase, a lot of things killed, and now on to the assault phase. Loyalists turn to assault. The Imperial Fist Terminator Squad has charged into the Death Guard Assault Squad. He managed to cause 1 wound, but I made the save from the Overwatch.
The Terminator Squad with Ferrus Manus charged the Destroyer Squad. No hits from Overwatch at all, so they got in with a charge nice and hard.
The Imperial Fist Praetor has issued a challenge to the Death Guard Praetor. He is accepted, and they're now going to hit Initiative 5. So Imperial Fist Praetor rolling first. Got 6 attacks, hitting on 4s. And then needing 3s to wound, 6s are instant death. So there's 1 instant death and 3 wounds.
Which order would you like me to take those saves in?
Take the instant death first.
Okay, so 1 the Iron Halo save, the instant death is saved, and 3 for the normal wounds, 2 saved, and feel no pain for the Apothecary in the unit is failed. So the Death Guard Praetor takes 1 wound.
Ooh, slightly gutsy with that.
It could have gone better. Death Guard Praetor hitting back with his Paragon Blade. There is a Chaplain in the unit, so he gets full rerolls on his attacks. I'm hitting on 4s, which is 5 hits. 1 reroll, which is all 6 hits. I am also looking for 3s to wound, and any 6s are instant death. So there is 1 instant death and 1 wound.
Okay.
So if you could do the instant death first for me, please.
So I have a Storm Shield, so it's a 3-up in run, which I pass. Yep. And then the normal save has passed.
Fabulous.
So it's a stalemate at the moment, with the Death Guard Praetor losing 1 wound. Next at Initiative 5 is the Herald. He had 4 attacks. I managed to hit with 1. I'm now going to try and wound on a 4+. No, he failed.
Initiative 4 in this combat, we have 10 attacks from the Death Guard Assault Marines, 2 of which are with a power sword, but we're going to do them at the same time because the Terminators all have a 2+ save and a sword's only AP 3. So 10 attacks, hitting on 4s with the Chaplain's reroll is 1, 2, that's pretty terrible to begin with. It's a good job I can reroll, only got 3 hits initially. The remaining 7 only resulted in another 2. So 5 hits in total. I'm looking for 4s to wound, resulting in 2 wounds. So if you could do 2 armor saves for me, please.
2 up saves from the Terminators, and they both pass.
Lovely. At Initiative 3, the Death Guard Assault Marine Sergeant piles in, unfortunately too far away to swing his scythe. At Initiative 1, the Death Guard with power axes pile in, again, unfortunately, slightly too far away to make a difference this time round.
Initiative 1, the Imperial Fist Terminators are swinging their power fists. I have 18 attacks. I managed to get 12 hits and cause 10 wounds.
Okay. That has killed 7 of my Assault Marines. We're then getting to a combat shield on my Sergeant, who's going to attempt his 5+ invulnerable save, which he passes. He's going to take another, which he fails, and then a final Assault Marine will die. So 8 dead in total. That combat went pretty badly for the Death Guard. I lost a decent number of models. However, I have a Chaplain, so I'm fearless. So the combat continues.
Ferrus Manus and his Terminator Squad have charged the Death Guard Destroyer Squad. The Death Guard managed to get no hits on the Overwatch. Now Ferrus Manus is going to strike first, along with Initiative 5, along with the Moritat. So 5 attacks from Ferrus Manus, swinging his hammer. Oh, 2 hits. And then wounding on 2s. 2 wounds.
2 wounds. Okay, so that's 2 dead destroyers.
2 dead destroyers, yep.
She didn't issue a challenge.
Nope.
So I have 3 attacks from the Moritat. Weapon skill 5, hitting on 3s, because your majority weapon skill.
Yep.
Is 2 hits, and he is strength 4, so he was requiring 4s to wound, which is 1 wound.
So I'll take that on Ferrus, 2+.
At initiative 4, the Death Guard destroyers get to strike before the Terminators. Total of 24 attacks, really terrible rolling, only 8 hits. However, due to the rad grenades that they carry, all 8 of them did manage to wound.
Yeah, pretty painful.
So 8 armor saves.
8 armor saves. So I'll roll these 5 at a time because there are 5 Terminators. So 1 goes down.
Yep.
And then the last 3. 3 go down. That's not very good, is it?
Well, pretty good for the Death Guard. I'm very happy with that result.
That's pretty average for me. So now it's time for the Terminators with the Chain Fist to attack. The 2 Terminators that are left have 3 attacks each because they charged this turn. So now it's time to roll for their attacks. Hitting on 4s. Another bad roll, only getting 2 hits. And 2 wounds.
Okay, so that is 2 destroyers dead.
2 destroyers dead.
And the Destroyer Sergeant has a Power Fist, so he strikes at the same time with 3 attacks, hitting on 4s, which is 3 hits, and wounding on 2s for 3 more wounds, please.
So is the Sergeant still there?
Yes.
So, yeah. 1 dies.
Okay. 3 wounds.
3 wounds, 1 more.
Both die.
Both die. Ouch. A bit of an unfortunate assault phase for the Iron Hands. The Terminator squad were wiped out by the Destroyers. Ferrus Manus is left standing on his own, but he is untouched. He has all his wounds left. So now we'll be moving on to Traitors turn 3.
Turn 3 for the Traitors. Movement phase. The Death Guard have shot up the field with the jet bikes to hopefully charge the Spartan. The Iron Warriors Rhino has shifted forwards to again hopefully shoot a metal gun at the Spartan. Death Guard Assault Marines haven't passed their morale, so they're running back towards the back of the board. A little bit of shuffling in the landing pad just to clear line of sight, and hopefully the Dreadnought can then shoot off into the Leviathan or the Storm Eagle. Scorpius has obviously stayed still. Medusa has moved forward again to give himself some options for the shooting phase, and then everything from the other side of the board has moved forwards to try and take down all the Iron Hands armour. Turn 3 shooting for the Traitors. We've started off with the multi-melter from the Rhino shooting to the Iron Hands Leviathan, and of course not getting a hit. Then the Death Guard snap-fired their multi-melters and the crack missiles. Multi-melters didn't score any hits at all, but with twin-linked, they got 1 hit from the Cyclone missiles, but didn't get any glances or pens.
The Death Guard Fire Raptor, which was stunned last turn, was forced to move forwards 18 inches and then snap-fire all of its weapons. The ball turret with the autocannons on the right-hand side targeted the Iron Hands Leviathan, did no damage. The ball turret on the left targeted the Imperial Fist Las Cannon team, unfortunately again did no damage. And then using power of the Machine Spirit, I fired the Avenger Bolt Cannon at the Imperial Fist's Assault Squad and killed 3.
Iron Warriors Contemptor Mortis Dreadnought has got a line of sight through the Leviathan for the Imperial Fists. 2 shots, 2 hits, awesome, ready to go, ready to glance to a pen, double 1. Great. The Iron Warriors Medusa shot its siege shell at the remaining Las Cannon Imperial Fist team. They killed 2 of them, and the final one failed its morale and now is running and hiding in the building. The Iron Warriors Quad Mortars fired all the way across the table to the Imperial Fist Assault Marine Squad in the building. Managed 7 wounds, but he only failed 1. So I killed 1 Imperial Fist. The Imperial Fist unit then needed to make a morale check for losing so many, but he managed to pass that. These Iron Warriors Scorpius dialed up some shots to the Iron Hands Plasma Support Squad. The original barrage missed by a little bit, but then the subsequent shells managed to eke on to 4 of the Marines. They killed 2. Then they failed their leadership test and are running back towards their board. Final action for the traitors shooting phase is the glorious multi-melter on top of a Rhino. Dials up some easy shots onto the back of that Iron Hands Land Raider, and of course misses.
Traitor turn 3 assault phase. The Jetbike Squadron have charged the Imperial Fist's Spartan to plant some melter bombs on it. There are a couple of ongoing combats in the centre between my Assault Marines and the Terminators and the Destroyers and Ferrus Manus. And then my final assault squad have only just managed to charge against the Iron Hands Predator Squadron. What a fantastic attack that was. The Death Guard assault squad charged into the Iron Hands Predators, planted 3 melter bombs, I beg your pardon, 3 penetrating hits, 2 explode results, no wounds when the Predators exploded. Slightly less spectacular on the other side of the table, the Death Guard jet bikes charged into the Imperial Fist Spartan, 4 hits with the melter bombs, only 2 penetrated. We did a weapon destroyed result, which resulted in the heavy bolters being destroyed, and the Spartan is also stunned. In the combat in the middle between Ferrus Manus and the Death Guard destroyers, Ferrus hit first, killed 4 with his big hammer. The destroyers did no damage in return. Ferrus then swept them and has consolidated 6 inches.
6 inches.
In the ongoing challenge between the Death Guard and Imperial Fist Praetors, the Death Guard Praetor has just put 2 wounds on his counterpart, and the Imperial Fist has failed to do any wounds in return. Also at Initiative 5, the Imperial Fist Herald hit with his power sword, unfortunately doing no wounds. At Initiative 4, my assault squad hit back, killing 2 of the Terminators, which was quite fortunate. Reaching Initiative 1, the power axe in my unit and my chaplain killed 1 of the Terminators, and the Terminators with their power fists then killed my chaplain, 3 of the Death Guard assault marines, and the Death Guard Apothecary. The leadership test for the Death Guard, because they lost the combat, ended up being at -2, which I did pass, so the combat continues. At the end of that combat, the Death Guard decided to use their hit and run ability, which is granted by their Right of War, rolled a mighty 17 inches to retreat from the Imperial Fists, who, fortunately for my Praetor, have decided to go after the Death Guard jet bikes instead of the remaining Assault Marines. All in all, turn 3 for the traitors was pretty effective, actually. The combat phase was pretty brutal. Losing the destroyers hurt, but taking out the predators in the far corner made up for that.
Turn 3 Loyalist movement. The Iron Hands Plasma Support Squad regrouped. They moved 3 inches, tried to line up some shots on the Death Guard Assault Marines. The Land Raider passed its dangerous terrain check, just to move across to line up some shots on the Rhino.
The Imperial Fist Terminator Squad have moved through cover and moved up ready to charge the jet bikes. The Imperial Fist Spartan has moved out of the combat and has lined up a shot on the Assault Praetor for the Death Guard.
Ferrus Manus has moved up to take on the Iron Circle and Perturabo.
The Imperial Fist Leviathan has also moved up, ready to charge into the Iron Circle. The Storm Eagle moved around to let the Templar Brethren jump out, ready to jump into the combat with Perturabo. The Imperial Fist Assault Unit has moved out of the building and ready to charge the Death Guard Assault Marines. And the Imperial Fist Las Cannon Heavy Support Guy is regrouped and has lined up a shot on the Fire Raptor.
And last of all, the Sikaran Venator has moved back to line up some shots on the Javelins, and then the Iron Hands Rhinos have moved up slightly just to get ready to take some objectives.
Loyalist turn 3 shooting phase. The lone Las Cannon Imperial Fist has snap fired at the Fire Raptor and sadly missed. The Imperial Fist Spartan has snap fired one of its quad las cannons at the Praetor Assault Marine and sadly didn't cause any wounds.
The Iron Hands Venator shot at the Death Guard Fire Raptor with the neutron laser, scored no hits. The las cannons couldn't see the Fire Raptor. The Leviathan shot at the Death Guard javelins with the storm cannon, got 2 penetrating hits. Matt managed to roll save one jinx save, but it destroyed one of the javelins. We also then shot the Volkites, which didn't hit. Ferrus Manus shot his heavy flamer and his plasma at the Iron Circle and Perturabo, scoring 1 wound on the Iron Circle.
The Imperial Fist Leviathan then unleashed his storm cannon, melter gun, and his flamers, and managed to cause 2 wounds on the bodyguards. The Imperial Fist Assault Squad fired their bolt pistols into the 3 remaining Death Guard Assault Marines, sadly not causing any wounds. The Imperial Fist Storm Eagle has fired 2 las cannons at the Iron Circle, managing to take off the last wound on one of the Iron Circle, killing him dead. Then it machine-spirited its Vengeance launcher into the Praetor squad with his Assault Marines, sadly not causing any wounds.
The Iron Hands Tactical Support Squad shot at the Death Guard Assault Squad. 2 of the Marines got hot. The Sergeant managed to save his, but the other one did not. Causing no wounds as well. The Lamb Raider shot its las cannons at the Iron Warrior's Rhino, managing to cause 2 immobilised results, which then causes an extra hull point, which then wrecked the Rhino. So the tactical squad is out nice in the open, ready for the Scorpius to shoot at it.
The Imperial Fist Scorpius rained fire down on the tactical squad that came out of the Broken Rhino, killing 7 of them. Then the Templar Brethren, with the Apothecary and Chaplain, fired their bolt pistols into Perturabo, managing to take 1 wound off the Primarch. Loyalist Turn 3 Assault. The Imperial Fist Terminator Squad with the Herald have charged into the jet bikes, not taking any wounds from the Overwatch.
Ferrus Manus charged into Perturabo and the single Iron Circle. Sadly, he did take a wound from the Overwatch.
The Imperial Fist Leviathan has charged in, as well as the Brethren and the Chaplain. The Imperial Fist Assault Squad have charged into the Death Guard Assault Squad, sadly losing 1 man from Overwatch. Starting the combat is the Imperial Fist Assault Squad going into the Death Guard Assault Squad. After a battle and tussle and a lucky combat shield save, I managed to wipe out the Death Guard Assault Marines with only 1 casualty. The Imperial Fist Praetor said, "Hold my beer," and Paragon bladed to death all of the jet bikes, and then consolidated up the table, holding his beer.
So Ferrus Manus is going to challenge.
Perturabo is accepting.
So Ferrus Manus, we both strike at initiative 5. Ferrus Manus gets 4 attacks, hitting on 4s. Getting 2 hits, winning on 2s.
Cool. So that is 2 saves for me. AP of the Hammer is Invuln of 3 up. So he saves them both. Perturabo strikes back with his fists. 4 attacks for him, hitting on 3s. So that's 4 hits. I am strength 7. So that is 2 AP2. So 2 Invulns.
2 3-up invols. And he takes another wound.
Nice.
Also in combat initiative 5 is the Imperial Fist Leviathan hitting the Iron Circle. I've got 3 attacks hitting on 3s. Oh, and sadly I whiff all 3 attacks. Next up at initiative 4 is the Templar Brethren. 9 of them are attacking with 27 attacks, needing 3s to hit. I get re-rolls because of the Chaplain. Re-rolling 12 of the dice thanks to the Chaplain. Needing 3s. Fantastic. 20 hits into the Iron Circle. Now I'm needing 6s to wound. After all that, 20 hits only caused 2 wounds. Damn it.
Right then, it's the saves for the Iron Circle. I've got 2 to make with a 5-up invulnerable save. Here we go. Oh, 1's gone through.
And finally, initiative 4, I have the Apothecary with his 2 attacks hitting on 4s. Re-rolling with the Chaplain. That's 2 hits, and then needing 6s to wound. And that's 1 more wound.
Right. Iron Circle's now got to make 1 more save with 5-up invulnerable save. Oh, and he's taken another wound. Next up at initiative 3 is the Iron Circle. He's got 2 attacks against the Imperial Fist Leviathan, needing 4s, and a double 1. Great.
Continuing the attack, Initiative 1 is the Imperial Fist Chaplain, hitting the Iron Circle. He has 4 attacks with his Power Axe, hitting on 3s. All 4 hit, and then I'm needing 6s to wound. And we sadly get no wounds. But continuing on, we have the Chapter Champion of the Templar Brethren with his Power Fist. He's got 3 attacks, and he's hitting on 3s. All hit, and then he needs 3s to wound. And that's 3 wounds. 3 invulnerable saves for the Iron Circle.
Iron Circle has got 3 invulnerable saves to make of 5 up. Here we go. He's got 1 wound left. And that he's taken 2, and that's killed him.
Result for the Imperial Fists and the Iron Hands. End of Loyalist turn 3 assault phase. Fantastic turn, taking out the Iron Circle. Brilliant turn for the Loyalists. Moving on now, hoping to wrap up this game.
At the end of the Loyalist turn, Ferrus Manus made his It Will Not Die roll and regained a wound, and the Iron Hands Leviathan regained a whole point from its It Will Not Die as well.
At the beginning of turn 4 for the traitors in our movement phase, we have moved up the Iron Warriors Rhino and disembarked the tactical squad to hold the objective. The Fire Raptor has dropped into hover, and the Death Guard Landspeeder has moved forward, try and pop the Leviathan. The Medusa has moved forward to try and drop a shell onto the Imperial Fist Terminator squad. In a desperate bid to try and save Perturabo from being outnumbered, the Death Guard unit have split off. The Assault Marines are going into the Imperial Fist Leviathan, and the Praetor is going to attack the Templar Brethren. Iron Warriors Dreadnought has moved forward to try and pop the Iron Hands Rhino at the back there, and then another tactical squad from the Iron Warriors has disembarked to try and take out the remaining plasma support team for some well-needed kill points.
Turn 2 shooting for the traitors. The Landspeeder Javelin for the Death Guard has fired everything at the Iron Hands Leviathan. Unfortunately, because it was snap firing, it missed. And the Iron Warriors Rhino has fired its multi-melter at the Leviathan as well. Scored 1 glance, but James made his invulnerable save. Death Guard Fire Raptor was the next to fire, splitting fire all over the place. The left-hand ball turret fired at the sole remaining las cannon heavy support squad member, who was hiding away in the building at the far end of the table like a coward that he is. Managed to snipe him, which was quite good. The right-hand autocannon turret fired into the Iron Hands Leviathan, stripping off a hull point with a glancing hit. The Avenger Bolt Cannon fired at the Assault Squad. Unfortunately, all the saves were made on the Artificer armour of the Sergeant. And then the last remaining Hellstroke missiles fired into Orth's Venator, resulting in 2 immobilised results, destroying the vehicle.
Next Iron Warriors unit to shoot is the Tactical Squad. They are targeting the Imperial Fist Assault Marine unit. 5 can see, 5 shots shot, 3 hits, but no wounds scored at all. Next to shoot was the Iron Warriors Medusa. Using Perturabo's Nuncio Vox, got a clear line of sight to the Imperial Fist Terminator unit. Got a direct hit, so straight onto the Herald, which was the Imperial Fist Warlord. He managed to look out all of his wounds, which spilled onto the Terminator unit, but he failed 3 of them, so managed to take down 3 of those, which is great. The Iron Warriors tactical unit then managed to get a sight onto the Herald, got 3 hits, but he managed to tank all of the saves. Next unit to shoot is the Iron Warriors Quad Mortars, loading in some shatter shells, aiming down sight to the Iron Imperial Fist Terminator unit. 8 shots, managed to get 7 hits, which turned into 5 wounds. He failed the first wound with a 1, killing him, but then the Imperial Fist Praetor tanked the rest of the wounds. Next unit to shoot is the Iron Warriors Tactical Squad, unloading with rapid fire into the remaining Iron Hands Plasma Support team. 20 shots, 12 hits, but because of the Iron Hands special rules for -1 strength, it only got 4 wounds. James failed the very first one on the Tactical Squad, so killed him. Then the Sergeant took 3 more, passing the first 2 and then failing the last one. Next unit up is the Iron Warriors Rhino, shooting its multi-melter at the Iron Hands Land Raider. Managed to get a hit, but unfortunately couldn't resolve it into a hull point. Next unit to shoot is the Iron Warriors Scorpius, targeting the Imperial Fists Assault Marine squad. Using Perturabo's Nuncio Vox, managed to reduce its ballistic skill to not scatter off the unit, getting 7 hits in total and 7 wounds. Then James managed to tank all 6, the first ones, and then I managed to snipe out the Sergeant with a final wound. Next unit is the Iron Warriors Terminator unit with the Siegebreaker. They deep striked in the beginning of the movement phase using Perturabo's Nuncio Vox. While they're waiting to hopefully get into combat next turn, they're going to shoot 5 combi melters into the Imperial Fist Storm Eagle. We managed 3 hits. From those 3 hits, we got 2 glances and a pen.
And I elected not to jink because I wanted to shoot at full ballistic skill next turn so I could get maximum firepower. But sadly, it failed me.
Yeah, that final pen got through, managed to get an explosion result and blow the Storm Eagle up. From the resultant explosion, we got 2 hits onto the Terminator squad, which we saved both of them, and then 1 onto the Imperial Fists Assault Marine unit, but I didn't manage to wound them.
Turn 4 assault phase for the traitors. In a desperate bid to rescue Perturabo from that massive melee in the middle of the table, the Death Guard assault squad have charged the Leviathan, drastically hoping that he fails all of his attacks so I can plant some melter bombs on him. And the Death Guard Praetor has charged into the Templar Brethren, hoping to kill some of those before Perturabo goes down to weight of attacks.
Beginning of the traitors' assault phase, initiative 5-step, the challenge continues with the Primarchs. Perturabo and Ferrus swing at each other at the same time. Perturabo managed to score 2 hits and resolving into 1 wound, which then Ferrus failed his invulnerable save and then failed his feel no pain, which got me a wound onto him. Then
Ferrus struck back with his 4 attacks, managing to hit with 1 and failed to wound. Wounded.
And then I'm within, I managed to save on the invulnerable save.
Continuing on at Initiative 5, the Death Guard Praetor swings his mastercrafted Paragon Blade at the Imperial Fist Templar Brethren. 7 attacks on the charge, managing 4 hits, only 2 wounds unfortunately, one of which was instant death, and the other was saved by the Apothecary's Feel No Pain ability.
At Initiative 4, the Imperial Fist Leviathan struck against the Death Guard Assault Marines, scoring 3 hits, causing 3 wounds and killing the assault squad outright. Continuing at Initiative 4, the Templar Brethren have struck against the Death Guard Praetor. The Chaplain and it's just the Chaplain, wasn't it? Just the Chaplain couldn't strike. I managed to get 28 attacks, scoring 9 hits, but only managing 2 wounds, which sadly the Praetor saved.
At the Initiative 1 stage of the combat, the servo arm on Ferrus struck at Perturabo, did cause a wound, but then Perturabo regained his wound with It Will Not Die at the end of the phase. It's looking pretty tight in the centre, but overall very very happy with that turn. We scored a lot of kill points, and with any luck we can retain, the traitors can retain position in the centre with the Praetor and Perturabo, and the Terminators can charge in our next turn and assist us with killing those Templar Brethren.
Loyalist, turn 4 movement phase. The Scorpius has stayed still, but he's lining up his sights on the Quad Mortar team. The Spartan has also just squeaked forward a little bit to try and line up some better shots on the Medusa and the Whirlwind. The Iron Hands Land Raider has passed his dangerous or difficult terrain test and managed to move around to line up shots on the Quad Mortars as well. The Imperial Fist Assault Squad have moved up, ready to charge the Terminator Squad of the Iron Warriors. Castraman Orth has also moved up, ready to, in the next turn, maybe charge the Javelin, I'm hoping. And then also the Iron Hands Tactical Squad have got out of their Rhino and are now holding the objective in the middle of the building. Loyalist, turn 4 shooting phase. Kicking off with the Iron Hands Leviathan, he shot everything he had at the Fire Raptor. The Melter Gun, as always, as Melter Guns do, it missed, rolled a 1. Then the Storm Cannon opened up on the Fire Raptor, scoring all the hits, managing to do 3 glances and a pen, managing to take down the Fire Raptor. The Imperial Fist Whirlwind Scorpius shot at the Iron Warriors Quad Mortars, managing to score 5 hits, all wounding and taking out a gun completely, and also taking 1 crew member off of the second gun. The Iron Hands Land Raider opened up its las cannons onto the remaining crew and gun of the quad mortars, managing to wipe them out. The Imperial Fist Spartan split its las cannon fire, shooting 1 at the Medusa and 1 at the Whirlwind Scorpius, managing not to score any damage on the Whirlwind, but managing to take 2 hull points and shaking the Medusa. The Imperial Fist Assault Squad shooting at the Iron Warriors Terminator Squad that teleported in last turn, shooting with their bolt pistols, scoring 4 hits using their bolter drill, managing 2 wounds. Jamie saved 1, and gladly 1 failed its save. Loyalist turn 4 assault phase. The Imperial Fist Praetor and Herald have charged into the Iron Warriors Tactical Squad, suffering no wounds from Overwatch. The Imperial Fist Assault Squad have made it into combat with the Terminators, hopefully trying to tie up the Terminators just to prolong them from getting into that a major assault in the centre of the table. Starting the combat with the Praetor and the Herald into the Iron Warriors Tactical Squad. The Praetor challenged the Sergeant, managing to kill him and another Tactical Marine. The Herald then struck, fortunately doing no wounds, and then the Tactical Marine struck back, causing 1 wound, but the Herald managed to save it. The Iron Warriors lost combat by 2, but unfortunately they did pass their leadership test. Starting the combat between the Imperial Fist Assault Marines and the Iron Warriors Terminators, the Apothecary challenged, the Siegebreaker accepted, the Apothecary hitting with 3 attacks, doing no wounds at all. Then the 2 Assault Marines with chainswords then hit as well. They scored 3 hits, doing 2 wounds, scoring, and 1 Terminator failed his save.
At initiative step 1, the Siegebreaker, swinging in the challenge with his Thunderhammer, managed to get 3 hits, and then resolving into 2 wounds, which outright killed the Apothecary and one of the chainsword-wielding Assault Marines. Then the Power Axe-wielding Assault Marine from the Imperial Fist swung, hit 2 times with his 2 attacks, and managed to kill 2 of my Iron Warriors Terminators, including my Sergeant. Rounding out Initiative 1, before the Terminators fell, we managed 6 attacks from the remaining 3, which resolved into 4 wounds, which killed the remaining 2 Imperial Fist Assault Marines. They consolidated them 5 inches to move around to hopefully then either charge into the Leviathan or multi-charge into the Leviathan and the Templars.
Continuing the huge challenge in the centre of the table, both Primarchs striking with 4 attacks each, both of them managing to do 1 wound each, but then both of them managed to save with their invulnerable saves. Continuing on at Initiative 5, the Chaplain striking with his sword, managing to get 2 wounds, and sadly the Praetor managed to save them.
Also at Initiative 5, the Death Guard Praetor with his mastercrafted Paragon Blade with 6 attacks, scoring 5 hits, 3 wounds, 1 of which was instant death, and then James failed 2 more feel no pains, so killing 3 Templar Brethren in total.
Continuing with the Templar Brethren at Initiative 4, hitting with 17 attacks, managing to score 10 hits and doing 6 wounds. Sadly, only doing 1 wound onto the Death Guard Praetor. Continuing on at Initiative 4, the Leviathan Dreadnought sadly is out of range of hitting the Death Guard Praetor, so he cannot attack. Finishing out the assault phase for the Loyalists, the Templar Brethren with the Power Fist hitting the Death Guard Praetor, managing not to hit at all. The Death Guard Praetor then hit and run, managing to leave combat, and no doubt he's going to be charging in next turn. And then the Iron Hands vehicles all rolling for their Bless the Omni Simulacra, sadly failing, and then Ferrus Manus also hitting with his servo arm, managing to cause 1 wound on Perturabo, but then he also failed his It Will Not Die roll.
Traitor turn 5 movement phase. On our left flank, the Iron Warriors Tactical Squad has moved forwards. I'm assuming to try and help out in the combat with the Imperial Fist Praetor and Herald, or to try and grab an objective on this corner. The Iron Warriors Rhino has moved forwards, fortunately not immobilising itself, to attempt a multi-melter shot into the Iron Hands Land Raider. The Death Guard Assault Squad finally managed to rally, which is great. So if they can survive, they can hopefully go and jump on an objective. Alternatively, they might hide next turn to stop us from losing another kill point for the death toll. The Iron Warriors Contemptor Mortis has moved up to get some las cannon shots into the Iron Hands Land Raider. The Medusa is hiding because it's currently shaken, again to prevent another kill point being lost by us. The Whirlwind Scorpius has remained still to fire a maximum effect. The Siegebreaker and last remaining Terminator for the Iron Warriors have moved up to join the ridiculously enormous melee in the middle of the table to hopefully take out the Leviathan. The Death Guard Praetor has moved up to try and charge into the Templar Brethren. On our right flank, the Iron Warriors Tactical Squad have spread out to minimise casualties from any potential whirlwind fire from the Imperial Fists. Then their Rhino attempted to drive over the wreckage of the Fire Raptor to get within melter range of the Leviathan, but immobilised himself and did a whole point to himself. Whereas the Death Guard Javelin has flown up and over and is aiming all of his guns at Castrum and Orth.
Turn 5 shooting phase for the traitors. The first thing is we've ran the Iron Warriors tactical unit. They were going to go help out with that Praetor assault with the lonely tactical marine, but we've left him to his own devices, acceptable losses and everything, and we're going to go try and hold that objective now. Then their dedicated transport, the Rhino, has tried a cheeky melter shot at the Iron Hands Land Raider, managing to hit for the first time, but are not causing any hull points. Next up in the Iron Warriors and Death Guard shooting phase, the Contemptor Mortis is aimed at the Iron Hands Land Raider with its 2 twin-linked las cannons, managing 2 hits, but unfortunately not resolving any hull points. Next up to shoot is the Iron Warriors Scorpius, dialing up some extra shots. He's managed to get 3 shots in total. Using Perturabo's Nuncio Vox has targeted the Iron Hands Tactical Squad in the building, with a bit of flipping from the barraging, and has managed 5 wounds, which then, because of the minus ballistic skill, minus strength, we managed 5 wounds, which James then tried to save with his Feel No Pain. Didn't save any of them, then resulting to having to do a leadership, which he failed, only moving back 2 inches, but still that's gotten him off that objective.
Continuing on with the right flank, the Iron Warriors Rhino attempted to fire his multi-melter at the Iron Hands Leviathan, unfortunately missing, which is what everybody knows multi-melters on Rhinos do. However, massive success on the far right-hand flank. The last remaining Javelin has managed 3 shots with his 2 missiles and multi-melter, 3 hits, 2 failed saves, no Feel No Pains, and Castrum and Orth has fallen. Turn 5 Traitor Assault phase. The Death Guard Praetor has made it into combat with the Templar Brethren, inflicting 1 wound with Hammer of Wrath on the Chaplain. However, it was saved by his Artificer armor. The Iron Warriors Siegebreaker and Terminator have joined in the combat, charging in successfully. And we have 1 ongoing combat on the Traitor left flank involving the Imperial Fist Praetor, Herald, and 1 sole surviving Iron Warriors Tactical Marine who is not going to be standing there for much longer.
Starting off the assault phase here, predictably the Iron Warriors Tactical Marine has died to the Paragon-wielding Terminator Praetor from the Imperial Fists,
who have then consolidated
a whole whopping 1 inch to hide away. Onto the slugfest that's going on into the centre of the board, the 2 Primarchs dueling it out. Perturabo managing to get 2 hits on, causing 2 wounds, which then Ferrus saved on his invulnerable save, and then Ferrus hit me back with 2 more hits, causing 2 wounds, and again Perturabo saved it with his invulnerable save. So we're back just trading blows, slug for slug.
Continuing on at Initiative 5, the Death Guard Praetor has swung 7 attacks into the Imperial Fist Chaplain, 5 hits, 2 wounds, 1 of which was instant death. James saved both of them on the refractor field for the Chaplain. I'm really not happy about that.
The Loyalist Chaplain striking back at the Praetor, hitting with 4 attacks, managing 2 hits and scoring 2 wounds, but sadly the Praetor again saved it with his invulnerable save. At Initiative 4, the Imperial Fist Leviathan struck the Iron Warriors Terminators, only scoring 1 hit and causing 1 wound, but Jamie was jammy and he saved it on the Terminator's invulnerable save. Continuing at initiative 4, the Templar Brethren, 2 of them struck the Death Guard Praetor, managing to cause 1 wound, sorry. Thankfully, Matt failed his Artificer armor save, and the Death Guard Praetor is now dead. 2 Templar Brethren and the Apothecary struck into the Iron Warriors Terminators, again only causing 1 wound, and Jamie managed to save it.
At initiative step 1, the Templar Brethren chapter champion hit the Terminator unit for the Iron Warriors, killing the final Terminator unit, Terminator model. But before he died, he swung at the Leviathan with his chain fist, managing to score 1 penetrating hit, which caused an immobilized result. Excellent result there. Then the Siegebreaker swung with his hammer, managing to get 2 hits on, but unfortunately not getting any wounds, any hull points onto the Leviathan. Finally, at the initiative step 1, the final thing to do was Ferrus swung with his servo arm to hit Perturabo, managing to wound him. Unfortunately for me, the Perturabo failed his invulnerable save, and he's now down to 4 wounds. Finally, to cap out the turn, Perturabo tried to do his It Will Not Die, but unfortunately failing, so he's stuck on 4 wounds.
At the end of combat, the final result, traitors ended up losing by 1. The Iron Warriors Siegebreaker failed his leadership test and ran. However, the Templar Brethren fortunately were unable to pursue him because they're still locked up in combat with Perturabo. At the end of our turn, Perturabo has failed his It Will Not Die roll, so he remains on 4 wounds. Now that there are no more traitor units remaining in this combat, Perturabo is going to be in trouble. He's got all of the Templar Brethren, the Leviathan Dreadnought, and Ferrus Manus are going to be striking him. I tried to save him, but I just couldn't do it.
Loyalist turn 5 movement. The Iron Hands Land Raider has moved across just to give the Imperial Fist Praetor and Herald some mobile cover while they move up to try and take out the Iron Warriors tactical squad. Further into the middle of the table, the Iron Hands Rhino with the 10-man tactical squad in has moved up, ready to take the objective in the next turn. The Imperial Fist Spartan has moved up to try and line up both of its las cannons against the Whirlwind Scorpius. The Iron Hands tactical squad in the building has rallied, and they have moved back onto the objective. And that is it for turn 5 movement for the Loyalists. Turn 5 shooting phase for the Loyalists. The Imperial Fist Spartan has lined up his las cannons at the Whirlwind Scorpius, managing to score a glancing hit and 2 penetrating hits, which then cause an explodes result. So the Whirlwind Scorpius is gone. The Iron Hands Leviathan targeting the Iron Warriors Rhino, opening up with his Volkites and his Storm Cannon, causing no hull points with the Volkites, but then causing 2 glancing hits and 2 penetrating hits with the Storm Cannon, taking out the Rhino. The Imperial Fist Scorpius has targeted the Iron Warriors Tactical Squad, managing to score 13 hits and causing 9 wounds, almost taking out the squad. And unfortunately, as they're Iron Warriors, they don't take morale from shooting attacks. The Iron Hands Land Raider opened up with its las cannons against the Iron Warriors Rhino, scoring a glancing hit and a penetrating hit and getting an explodes result. What a turn. Turn 5 assault phase for the Loyalists, carrying on with the Primarch battle in the centre of the table. Ferrus Manus striking Perturabo, causing 1 wound, and in turn Perturabo managing to get 2 wounds in on Ferrus Manus, but then he saved them with his invulnerable save. The Imperial Fist Leviathan striking at initiative 4, managing to get 2 wounds onto Perturabo, but he managed to save both of them with his invulnerable save. The Templar Brethren striking at initiative 4, getting 17 attacks, managing to score 9 hits, causing 2 wounds against Perturabo, but unfortunately Perturabo managed to save them. Striking at initiative 1, the Chaplain and the Chapter Champion. The Chaplain struck with his Power Axe with 3 attacks, managing to get 1 through, but Perturabo saved it. The Power Fist then hit with 3 attacks, causing 1 wound, and it didn't go through. And then Ferrus Manus hit with his Servo Arm, managing not to score any wounds. The end of Loyalist turn 5. None of the Iron Hands vehicles or Ferrus Manus managed to pass their It Will Not Die rolls. Still, the big combat in the middle of the table continues, but the Loyalists had a cracking shooting phase this turn. And now we're going to move on to Traitors, turn 6.
Turn 6 for the Traitors movement phase. The Iron Warriors Siegebreaker fortunately managed to rally and has moved 3 inches further up the table to take some snapshots at the Iron Hands Tacticals hiding in the building on the objective. The Iron Warriors Tactical Squad on our right flank is just maintaining control of this objective for the end of the game. The Death Guard Javelin has moved up and round and is going to attempt some shots into the rear of that Iron Hands Rhino to up our death toll points. Moving round to the Traitor left flank, the Contemptor Mortis has moved forwards to get his las cannon shots into the second of the Iron Hands Rhinos. The Medusa has shuffled, has reversed, I beg your pardon, to get a line of sight onto the Imperial Fist's command units, the Herald and the Praetor. The Death Guard Assault Marines, who rallied last turn, have moved up and are going to attempt to charge into the Iron Hands Land Raider, and the sole remaining Iron Warrior Tactical Marine on the Traitor left flank has consolidated his position onto the objective and is tucked nicely and safe out of line of sight.
Beginning of the 6th turn of the Traitors shooting phase, the Medusa opened up and fired a siege shell into the Praetor and the Herald from the Imperial Fists, managing direct hit, managing to get 2 hits, only could cause 1 wound. Then the Herald, being the Warlord, looked out onto the Praetor, and the Praetor failed his invulnerable save, killing him outright. The Contemptor Mortis tried to shoot into the Iron Hands Rhino for an easy kill point for death toll. Obviously, only hit once, even with the rerolls, and then only did 1 penetrating, which only shook him.
The Iron Warrior Siegebreaker is next up to fire. He's recently consolidated and therefore was snap firing. He fired his combi bolter at the Iron Hands Tactical Squad in the building, unfortunately failing to hit. The Death Guard Javelin, however, had much better success, destroying the Iron Hands Rhino with a penetrating hit and explode result. That concludes the Traitor shooting for turn 6, so we're going straight into the assault phase. Traitor turn 6 assault phase. The 2 remaining assault marines have only just successfully charged the Iron Hands Land Raider. They're going to attempt to plant 2 melter bombs on the side of it. And the combat in the centre of the table between the Primarchs, the Templar Brethren and the Leviathan is ongoing. Turn 6 Traitor Assault, the Death Guard Assault Squad planted 2 melter bombs on the side of the Iron Hands Land Raider. 1 glance, unfortunately, but then 1 penetrating hit, which exploded the Land Raider. No wounds in the resulting explosion, which is an extra kill point for death toll for the Traitors.
Next up, the big combat in the middle. Perturabo swing in at the same time. Initiative 5 of Ferrus managed to get 3 hits onto Ferrus, causing 3 wounds. He saved 2 of them with his invulnerable save, failing 1, but then feel no pain at the end, managed to save off that last one. Then Ferrus swung back, causing 1 hit, 1 wound, which Perturabo's invulnerable save failed, and he's taken another wound. He's down to 2 wounds now.
At Initiative 4, the Imperial Fist Leviathan is striking at Perturabo, scoring 2 hits, causing 2 wounds, but Perturabo rolled double 6s for his invulnerable save. He still lives. Continuing at Initiative 4, the Templar Brethren are hitting Perturabo with 17 attacks, scoring 9 hits, causing 2 wounds, but again, Perturabo managed to save them. For those eagle-eyed amongst you, I'd like you to spot the difference. Finally, Perturabo fell to the Imperial Fist Chapter Champion, scoring 2 wounds. Perturabo failed his last wound, and yeah, what an amazing turn. Rounding out the turn, the Templar Brethren are consolidating towards the Iron Warrior Tactical Squad. Ferrus Manus is moving around the corner. I'm so happy that this time round Ferrus Manus is not losing his hammer. So now we're moving on to Loyalist, turn 6. The start of turn 6 for the Loyalists, the final turn of the game. Currently, both sides are holding 2 objectives, so it's my goal this turn to try and get them off them objectives. The Currently, the Iron Hands Tactical Squad are holding the objective in the building. The Iron Hands are also holding the objective out in the open on the other side of the table. The Iron Warriors Tactical Squad is holding the objective on the right-hand side, and a lone Iron Warriors Tactical Marine is standing alone on the final objective. Ferrus Manus has moved up, ready to take on the Medusa. The Tactical Squad may try and do something with the Contemptor, not quite sure yet. And the Templar Brethren have moved up to try and push the Iron Warriors off of that objective. The Imperial Fist Leviathan is lined up to take shots. He is immobilised, but luckily he is pointing in the right direction to take shots at the Siegebreaker. The Spartan is lined up ready to take shots at the Contemptor also. And the Iron Hands Leviathan is stuck out in the open to do absolutely nothing. Start of turn 6 shooting for the Loyalist. Leviathan shot its heavy flamers and its melter gun at the Iron Warriors Siegebreaker, managing to score 1 wound with a heavy flamer, which was great, and the melter gun failed to wound because he saved his invulnerable save. Oh, and the Storm Cannon is also out of arc, so it cannot shoot. Ferrus Manus shooting at the Iron Warriors Medusa, opening up with his Plasma Blaster and his Graviton Gun. The Plasma Blaster failed to do anything, but the Graviton Gun managed to hit. It did scatter quite far, but it still managed to clip and done the final hull point on the Medusa. The Imperial Fist Spartan opening up on the Iron Warriors Contemptor, only managing to score 1 glancing hit. The Imperial Fist Herald opening up with his bolt pistol, managing to kill one of the Death Guard Assault Marines, and then they failed their leadership again for the second time. This third, I don't know, we've lost count how many times they've lost their leadership, but at the moment that unit counts as destroyed for the objectives of the game. The Imperial Fist Scorpius targeting the Iron Warriors Tactical Marine on his own, managing to scatter 8 inches and not hitting at all. Continue with the shooting. The Templar Brethren originally were going to go for the Iron Warriors Tactical Squad to try and push them off the objective, but the temptation of the Siegebreaker out in the open on his own was too much for them. So they took their bolt pistols, shot at the Siegebreaker, managing to take him out of the fight. Starting the Loyalist assault phase, potentially the last combat of the game, the Imperial Fist Herald has charged the lone Death Guard Assault Marine, managing to make the charge. Rounding out the combat, the Herald managed to take out the final Death Guard Assault Marine, leaving only 1 sole Javelin land speeder for the Death Guard on the table. Cracking turnout for the Loyalists. We're now going to tally up the objectives and the death toll and work out who has won this amazing battle.
That's the end of the Heralds of Heresy takeover, gents. That was one hell of a smash fest.
That was awesome. Very good, enjoyable.
Towards the end of the battle, really brutal.
Lots of stuff died, eh?
Yeah.
And you may have noticed as well, we're a man down. So Rich unfortunately had some commitment to take care of this morning, so he wasn't able to take care of his fists. But James, you did a great job.
Yeah.
Despite some of the fists dying quite early on into the volcano.
Sorry about that, Rich.
Which I can imagine Rich is crying into his porridge this morning, or his cornflakes. But anyway, but let's go on to the scores. It's quite a dramatic points difference. So so let's start with the traitors, commanded by the Iron Warriors and the Death Guard. Gents, 14 points for death toll.
Yeah.
So quite respectable. And then Jamie, tell me about your War of Lies score.
So we held 2 objectives at the end, 2 Iron Warriors tactical units, the 1 lone man holding 1 and the other 10 man holding the other. So rolled the 2 dice for it. We got a 1 for 1, so that didn't give me anything. And the other one got a 2, so that only gave me 1 extra victory point for the team. So
you ended up on 15 victory points.
Yeah, 15. Yeah.
James, you did the business, I think the word is to say, isn't it?
I think we do all right.
Yeah. Death toll for the Loyalists was 22, so massive congratulations. And then for the War of Lies, you got an additional 2 points and an additional 1 point, putting you on 25. But then tell me about your War of Lies.
I rolled on the War of Lies because 2 of my tactical squads were on the objectives. I rolled a 6 and a 1, so we lost 1, and then I rolled a D3 for the 1. No, a 6 and a 2. Sorry.
Yeah.
Rolled a D3 and rolled a 1, so we lost 1 but gained 1 back.
Yeah, sorry, those 2 additional points and the single, that was for Warlord and for the Price of Failure.
Killed both of our Warlords,
Sorry.
and the Prime Mark, which gave us Price of Failure.
Yeah, I can't get it right. So essentially, you were on 25, and then you gained 1, and then lost 1. So you stayed on 25.
Yeah. 25-15.
Yeah. 10 points.
Good showing, guys. We did well.
Great success.
Yeah, really good stuff.
Yeah.
There was a couple of points in that game that I really, really enjoyed. Firstly, I have to say to James, for building an Orth model.
Yes.
Obviously, the Venator was destroyed, and then he got out, but he got killed by a javelin.
Javelin. He almost survived, but yeah.
It's the first time he's died, isn't it?
It's the first time he's actually died out of the tank.
Yeah.
I'll count that.
Because he's died. He's died. Yeah,
It's a win.
Good day.
He's died from being blown up after the tank's been destroyed because he's treated as a transport model.
Right.
But that's the first time he's been killed actually physically on the table. So yeah.
And the second part for me was that massive combat in the middle. You know, Perturabo was really lucky not to die quite early on.
Yeah. He did manage to save a few good saves, reliable saves, and obviously James
Ferrus Manus just couldn't hit anything.
Well, we were both the same. We just couldn't hit each other.
Getting 1 hit every turn.
Yeah, and then just the combat just lasted, and then we just threw everything we
to
could
save him,
just to try and make sure he wouldn't take all those Templar hits.
At one point,
just to survive.
I thought Ferrus was going to die.
Yeah,
because he was standing on his own after that. Wiped out
close.
the Terminators with the Destroyers. I generally thought Ferrus Manus was going to fall, but he survived.
Admirable effort from the Death Guard. You know, you really made an effort to try and help out. And the Terminators coming down and taking out that the Storm Eagle.
Yeah.
You know, you lost a couple.
I thought that was it. I dropped down, take the Storm Eagle. That went out brilliant. And then I just failed some armor saves and just killed Terminators.
I charged the Assault Marines.
And the Assault Marines come in and that literally left me with the Siegebreaker and 1 guy. I managed to take didn't even take the Leviathan out, which was the plan.
Both Leviathans were immobilized.
Yeah. Matt, any key points for you?
It was just a desperate attempt to save Perturabo, I think. I mean, we gave away a lot of victory points in that, a lot of kill points for Death Toll in that fight. Throwing in 2 Assault Marines against the Leviathan was probably not a good idea. But yeah, that was really good. Very much enjoyed that fight in the middle.
Great stuff. You know, I really hope you've enjoyed this game. This took a lot of logistics to organise. You know, we've got 4 people from around the country converging in one place. It was a weekend game. You know, Richard's unfortunately had to go for his commitments, but we've all got family and commitments and stuff. And, you know, there's been lots of staying over a friend's house and giving lists and stuff. So a lot of work goes into these much larger games. I would like to say I do want a quarter, but they're quite difficult to organise. But
it's a long day, and it goes into long 2 days. It goes
2
into
long
stuff,
days,
but hopefully everything we've put into it has led to a good game for you guys to watch.
I think it will be all right. It'll come out pretty well. I think visually it was really cool. You got the really. I love the Death Guard list. I thought that was really unique and fantastic. Classic Iron Warriors. I think the 2 worked really well together.
Yeah. Well. That was the plan.
Exactly. There was a method there.
Yeah.
And then I loved the infantry from the fists and the vehicles from the Iron Hands.
Bringing the tanks.
It looked really good on that board. Quite a muted board and some really nice bright colours from the
It
armies.
looked fantastic.
Good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. And now, gents, we're going to mention your podcast, Heralds of Heresy. Who wants to take that one?
James, it's your podcast.
Go on, James.
It's not my podcast. We're all part of it. So if you haven't already, find us on. We're on Podbean,
Stitcher, SoundCloud, iTunes,
all of them. Pretty much all
wherever.
Heralds of Heresy podcast. We're on episode 9 at this point. So yeah, we've been going 8 months now, which is great.
Yeah.
Also follow us on Instagram. We've got the
at Heralds of Heresy _ podcast is the main page, and then we've all got
our individuals.
The bowling shirts come into play.
Heresy's premier bowling team.
Hashtag Heresy Pinheads.
Great stuff. And I'll pop those all up on the bottom for you guys to see. So please give them a follow and a like, and I'm sure you can see what you're getting up to. You're in the process of starting some new armies, aren't you?
James is always in the process of starting an army.
My nickname is the Changer of Armies because I'm forever changing my mind. But I've stuck with the Iron Hands for 5 years.
Yeah. But no, what are you doing next?
I don't know.
You don't know. We're going literally back and forth.
I'm going to Forge.
I'm doing I'm doing a small thousand Sun Centurion and Salamander Centurion list.
I'll probably do the same with Space
We're
Wolves.
doing Space Wolves.
Right.
Yeah. So trying to flip it around. I want a loyalist legion, I think, next.
Yeah, good stuff. So there's lots of action to catch up with these guys on their personal Instagrams or via the Heralds of Heresy podcast. Now, I've taken a ton of photos from this game, so they will be available on the Facebook page when this game becomes available. And if my scheduling is right, it should be the beginning of March. 1st of March, this game should have dropped. If it's late, I apologise. There's about 3.5 hours of footage to edit, so there's quite a lot to do between now and the first, but I'll try and get it done for you. So please go to the Facebook page, give me a like. We'd love to talk to you about the game. Do you like big games? Was there too many points? Do you want more points? Do you want some bigger stuff? We were quite careful about the lists, I think. Wasn't we?
We tried to keep it quite minimal for model counts because it could have easily been huge units just taking up the whole time. But we were quite conscious of that. We didn't want to spend 4 weeks trying to film a 2-hour battle report.
And that's the key thing as well. People don't realise that the time that goes into these. I think yesterday we were here for 10 hours?
10 hours. We got to the end of 3.
Today we were here for 6 hours, I think. So, a lot of prep goes in. So we were trying to carry on and
spend another 3-4 hours. Because that's more than that, just champion through.
I think so.
Bad acting.
I think you guys have done a spectacular job. It was their first time on the channel. They've done a great job. Rich was a bit of a vet. He's done four times now. I think they need to can him off for a couple of months.
We're all coming back though.
But we've been chatting to the 3 gents that are left, and we're going to get you back for some more, aren't we?
I'll take one.
Yeah. Great stuff. All right. Final comments, gents. Anything to add? You're all good.
If you're ever down in the Kent area, in the Rochester area, hit me up and we'll have a game. I play at Wargamers Den, so in Raynham, hit me up. Have some games down there because there's not many Heresy players down there.
So, me and Matt are quite close together, so the sort of Northampton, Milton Keynes area. We've obviously got Northampton Heresy that we run, so that you're all a part of, and obviously Jody, you at the XLC, the game centre there. So if anyone ever wants to come down, challenge us, get an easy win, come down.
Easy win,
And just thank you very much for having us.
Thank you.
My pleasure,
Thank you very
gents.
much.
It was really lovely to host you. It's the first big game we've had for a long time. So
Well played. Yeah.
Tentative.
It's not Imperial Fist.
I had one. The Imperial Fist is gone, so it's fine.
That always reminds me of that game. Is it Sim Theme Park or something? In the month, you need to negotiate the hours of the contract, and there was always that. We got them at £5 an hour. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, gents. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much for having us again.
Thank you for having us. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
we'll see you in the next game.
Roll me, boy, roll me.
Do that shirt.
Do your buttons up.
Careful on the nips, they're sensitive.
Could have ironed it.
I'm not dressed.
I literally picked it up off the floor this morning. I was like, that is. Guys, you know me. Jesus Christ.
Sorry.
You got back these
You know you're filming all this, right?
Because I got a nice eyes.
I am, actually. I think it'll be good in the...
Cough, please.
I need a fluffer.
Fluffer? This is heresy. We need you fluffer.
You're alright.
That's a rough.
That's how you like it.
Yeah, it's cool.
I think when we do the end of Game Fest chat, mention like Heresy Belly shit like that.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
Don't need to do it now.
Yeah.
Just talk about us.
I wish I wore the shirt, man. They're really long. Like down here. It's like a dress.
Which one did you get?
I got the unisex one and the normal one because I wanted to see what both look like.
What size was that?
That's the biggest one they do, and it is big on me.
Right, gents.
Is it like school photo?
Back to back.
It's tight. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to try and pull out
Charlie's
come touch
tiny
it.
bit.
We'll touch.
It's good. Acapella.
He's supposed to sing.
It's like a bunch of
Come on, my baby. Come on, my baby. Come on.
Richard James, can I already take you the other way? That's it. That's the magic.
Hey, we're always going the other way, mate.
Richard, just go that way.
Standing here.
Richard, go back that way.
Go that way, just a tiny bit. Perfect. Matt, can I just half a step, just tiny?
Backwards, forwards.
Yeah, backwards. Sorry, too much. Just go touch. Perfect. Richard, just a tiny bit, please.
Which way?
That way. Tiny. Perfect. I'm just trying to get you all.
Suck in.
Jamie, can you go that way?
Close to him.
Yeah. Because I won't go in the middle somewhere.
Oh yeah.
Don't forget that.
There we go.
We're going to get close.
We're gonna get real close.
We need you.
It's like, would you like
Heresy,
to know more?
baby. We need you. Would you like to know?
Right, just so I get it well out of the way. Has everyone got their phones off?
Oh, yes, please.
Oh, yeah, mine's on silent. It's over there.
I'll check mine. Mine was on last time. Let's see all that.
Double, triple check. Yeah.
I silence mine, leave it on the table.
Yeah.
See, it's a good job I'm little, isn't it? It's fucking, I'm sweating already. Right, I'm joking. Everyone happy, yes?
Yep. Yeah.
I know it's a bit weird, but
It's all right.
we've not got a lot of room. Just one thing, yeah? When you're talking to each other, look at each other. When you're talking to the camera, look at the camera, not the screen. I always look at the screen, but I should always look at the camera. So
Look at the lens.
yeah. That's it. That is the end of the Heralds of Heresy Takeover Smashfest.
Yeah.
Gents,
Yeah.
a lot of stuff died.
Yeah.
It was
Those final-
a fantastic game.
Yeah, the final couple of turns.
Final turns were brutal.
Everything was dying. Left,
Yeah.
right, centre. It was brilliant.
Really, really good. Now, I bet you're itching to know who's won. I don't know if it is obvious or not, but there's a massive disparity in the point score here. Let's start with the traitors, shall we?
Yeah.
So the traitors, let's remind ourselves, was Death Guard and Iron Warriors. Gents to my left here.
Yeah.
So we've got 14 points for the death toll and 1 for a warlord kill. So congratulations, gentlemen. And you scored 15 points. So it's very, very respectable.
Yeah, I was quite happy with that.
Very respectable. Now, at the end, you did roll on the War of Lies.
We had 2 objectives at the end, rolled on War of Lies. So we got 1, I rolled 2 dice because we had 2. We got a 1, so that was nothing. And then the other one just scored me 1 victory point more.
Yeah.
So
Fantastic. Also, that takes you to 16 then.
No, it wasn't a warlord. It was a point for the
Bollocks.
It was a point for the objectives because the Herald and
Oh,
Ferrus
right.
are still alive.
I put WL as warlord, but it's actually War of Lies. I just
Yeah.
put a little
Yeah.
slash. Motherfucker. My fault. I'm sorry. Start again. Okay.